Thanks for joining us for this look at the best original reporting from KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Coming up, the science of space food. Local researchers go to work on developing an out-of-this-world guacamole. A new place to learn in one of San Diego's most diverse communities. See the new campus where kids from pre-K through 8th grade will grow in the years ahead. And 100 years of unofficial segregation. We look back at San Diego's history of zoning laws and how they shaped the ability of people to integrate. And we start with the work to create a proper memorial for one of San Diego's darkest days. This week marked 45 years since a commercial jet collided with a small plane over North Park and dozens of people lost their lives. KPBS reporter John Carroll spoke with those who will never forget that day and want to make sure the victims are remembered.
This image is forever seared into the memories of many San Diegans, one of two pictures taken by professional photographer Hans Wendt, who happened to have his camera around his neck as he was pumping gas a few blocks away.
PSA 182 Lindbergh Tower, traffic 12 o'clock, 1 mile assessment.
A couple of minutes after that, the 727 and the Cessna collided. On the ground, Wendt looked up and saw fire.
The tone, the time.
We're going down. This is PSA. Okay, we'll call the equipment for you.
Exactly.
Seconds later, a plume of black smoke was billowing into the sky over North Park. The PSA jet smashed into the ground just north of the intersection of Dwight and Nile, killing all 135 people aboard. 7 people on the ground were killed, including 2 children. Both the pilot and passenger of the Cessna lost their lives. That plane crashed several blocks away.
So he was 18 years old.
We met a family member of one of the PSA passengers here where the jet hit.
My brother was starting his first day at UC San Diego. I'm his sister, and he was on the plane.
Myra Sulit-Pulowski's brother Michael had boarded PSA Flight 182 in Sacramento. Memories of that day are still vivid.
I was waiting for him at the airport to make sure that he could get on the plane, and he came back out and said, "I got the last seat on the plane." So that was the last time I saw him.
I was on a break between classes at St. Augustine High School, 4 blocks down the road.
Mike Bagnus had just started his sophomore year at St. Augustine's. 45 years later, and it's still difficult to get the words out about what he saw when he looked up.
I saw the fireball, and you could see the glow of the fire into the windows. You could feel the people screaming. It was horrible.
Seconds later, Bagnus says he felt a boom, a wave emanating out from the point of impact. Then fear of another horror overtook him. His family home was at 33rd and Dwight, about a block from the crash site. At first, Bagnus says he didn't want to go home, afraid of what he would find. He first went to a friend's house, and there he saw something that wiped away his worst fears.
She had Channel 10 on, and Jack White was reporting from the neighbor's house across the street. And that's when I knew, oh, thank God.
Bagnus knew if that neighbor's house was standing, then his was too. Meantime, Myra Pulowski made her way down to San Diego. The coroner was never able to identify her brother's remains, but she has something else. She keeps it in this case with her brother's high school graduation picture. It's his wallet, found at the crash site, not damaged at all.
It was intact with his driver's license and his pictures and even $1, in his wallet.
10 years ago, Myra, Michael, and several others formed a committee to finally place a proper memorial to those who lost their lives. Not that there aren't memorials now. The closest one is found here outside the North Park Library branch. It is under this tree dedicated to the lives of those lost that day. It's this rather small plaque, which doesn't have one name on it of anyone who perished that day. And there's another, larger memorial. It's here in the Air and Space Museum as part of their PSA exhibit, the history of San Diego's homegrown airline. Gone but not forgotten, a series of plaques This one detailing all the lives lost on both airplanes and on the ground. And this one in memory of the 37 employees PSA lost on that day, but they're in a museum. They're not out there close to where it happened. Myra Pulowski, Michael Bagnes, and everyone else who's worked for a proper memorial for years are tired of waiting.
Why isn't there one here? Why can't the politicians do that? Do I have to do it? They should do it.
None of us have a place to grieve. There's no cemetery. There's no headstone that I can say, you know, this is where I can pay my respects.
That's the first in a two-part report by John Carroll, and you can find all of it on the KPBS YouTube page. San Diego City Council member Stephen Whitburn says he's working with city staff specifically on getting a memorial built. And barring a surprise breakthrough in Washington, a federal government shutdown is expected to take effect this weekend. Melissa May tells us how women and young children could be among the first to feel the effects.
The Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, better known as WIC, helps nearly 7 million women and children across the country, including over 970,000 just in California.
It's a really amazing program. It's a public health program. It's an anti-poverty program.
The White House has been warning that if there's a shutdown, recipients will start being turned away at grocery store counters. But here in California, WIC recipients won't face an immediate crisis.
California expects to have funding through November 20th. So I want to encourage people to keep going to their WIC appointments. Even if we have a government shutdown, keep going to your WIC appointments because California WIC will not be shutting down immediately.
Still, Sarah Diaz with the California WIC Association says one of their benefits is going to be instantly impacted.
The fruit and vegetable benefit for participants is going to go down. Rather than the $25 to $49 per month for fruits and vegetables that they're used to, it's now going to show between $10 and $12 per month.
The San Diego Food Bank CEO, Casey Castillo, says his organization is ready to step in if the shutdown lasts longer than November 20th.
So we're not just the food safety net for San Diego County. We'll be focusing not just on food to help those impacted by the shutdown, but we have other resources like diapers, like feminine hygiene products.
The food bank's CalFresh outreach team will also be there to support WIC participants.
They will help you through the application process and steward that application through and advocate for you.
To learn more about WIC and if you qualify, go to www.cdph.ca.gov. Melissa May, KPBS News.
San Diego adopted single-family zoning 100 years ago. KPBS reporter Katie Hyson looked into the racist origins of zoning and how its effects continue today.
As a child, Ricardo Flores moved away from apartment-filled City Heights, where his extended family lived, to the relative quiet of single-family homes in Rancho San Diego. Flores says he stuck out.
In my neighborhood, it was pretty much white kids. And I was the only black or brown person. And then when I'd go visit my cousins, it was only people of color.
At the time, he never questioned why that was. He thinks most people don't.
We honestly probably don't even understand how we're living here and others are living over there. We just assume that it's because we went to college, we worked hard, our parents did the same. But in reality, it's much deeper than that. It's much more sinister than that, actually.
Sinister, Flores says, because that separation between people of color and white people was intentional. Berkeley created one of the first zoning laws in 1916. White neighbors wanted to push out 2 Japanese-owned laundries, a Chinese-owned laundry, and a dance hall mostly used by black people. So they enforced residential zoning in those locations. A year later, the Supreme Court ruled racial zoning unconstitutional. But in some ways, it didn't matter. Single-family zoning worked just as well to segregate. San Diego adopted it in 1923. In some neighborhoods, developers can build apartments or duplexes, affordable to non-white residents who tend to be less wealthy. The rest of residential land is restricted to less affordable single-family homes. Planners managed to segregate San Diego without saying the word race. Berkeley researchers wanted to understand the impact of the last 100 years of zoning in San Diego, so they categorized every plot in the city. Turns out, single-family only zoning takes up most of the residential land. 81%. Those areas are wealthier and whiter with higher home prices, and they engage in something researcher Samir Gambier calls resource hoarding.
The non-single family zones have fewer resources, fewer good schools, and large commute times. And that really restricts the wealth generation.
Under zoning, zip codes became powerful predictors of someone's education, income, health, even how long they live. Cities across the country have voted to end single-family zoning in recent years, including Berkeley. But Gambier's co-researcher, Joshua Cantong, says it's an uphill battle.
I don't know if we can underestimate how powerful homeowner resistance is to retaining single-family zoning, because generally, white, affluent, male, older constituents are more involved in planning processes.
In other words, it's often white, wealthy homeowners who can go to city meetings and argue their side. Flores says the reasons they give for pushback have changed over the years.
First, it was, you're in a fire hazard. No, that's not true. You're going to destroy land values. No, that's not true.
He says the main argument now is that it will change the quote-unquote character of neighborhoods.
You're going to change the look of my neighborhood. What I would wonder is, are they talking about the buildings? Because we can replicate buildings.
The buildings, he questions, or the people? Regardless of the reasons, Flores says San Diego, exploding with population growth, can't afford to hold on to old zoning restraints.
Here we are 1.3 million, and we have this antiquated zoning policy. And we see it in homelessness. We see it in skyrocketing housing prices, over $1 million. We see it in segregation.
He fought for a proposal to end single-family zoning in about half of San Diego, but the Planning Commission voted in August to hold it back for workshopping. He says it could create affordable housing for middle-income earners, free up existing apartments for lower-income earners, limit urban sprawl, and slow climate change. And, he says, it could finally fulfill a goal of the civil rights movement: integration.
We have a segment of our society that does not grow up with people of color. And then they achieve power and other status, and they reinforce those bad decisions because they don't grow up with people that are different than them.
Flores plans to continue rallying support for the proposal before bringing it back to the commission. Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
And that was one of our most popular stories this week at kpbs.org, and here are some of the others. Temecula students protest their school district's flag and transgender policies. The San Marcos Creek project is nearing completion as construction begins on the final stretch. And be sure to check out our roundup of family-friendly fall events happening around San Diego. A biology lab at San Diego State is working with NASA to help astronauts level up their snack game in space. KPBS SciTech reporter Thomas Fudge shows us the work happening to create a guacamole dip that travels well.
Vials of green liquid swirling in a San Diego State lab contain test samples of microalgae. Algae is the not-so-secret ingredient meant to bolster the guacamole with antioxidants, which protects space travelers from the high levels of radiation. On the spaceship, the food's got to travel light. The solution?
Our proposed project is to have like a powder mix, and then it will be hydrated in space, and then they will have the avocado.
You could say the avocado will be a space vehicle for the algae and its nutritional firepower. The project is aimed at diversifying the diet of astronauts, and scientists chose guacamole to try to lift their spirits. They say space guac is a fun food that makes you think of parties. PhD student Gabby Canto is part of the team.
This idea of mixing guacamole with microalgae was so interesting for me because I'm Mexican and guacamole is part of our diet,
Postdoc Daniel Caro is from Colombia.
So Colombia, after Mexico, is also like a large producer of avocados. So I was thinking, okay, what is something fun, something good to eat, something that we can freeze dry, and something that is green? Because microalgae are green, and then avocados are green.
Though algae is eaten in some human cultures, it's not known for being tasty. The word bitter better describes it, but food science can help. Researcher Ali Raza does what he calls molecular sensory science. That means you can enhance the flavor of food, not with additives, but by chemically manipulating the compounds in it. He is advising Professor Zuniga's team to make algae go down a little easier.
Which is going to naturally enhance some amino acids and sugars in algae, and those are going to give us a good taste later on when we are going to add it in guacamole.
But are the astronauts going to have tortilla chips?
Maybe.
In February, researchers expect to present their space guac concoction at NASA's Human Research Program conference in Texas, where they almost certainly will have tortilla chips. Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
Fallbrook has been home to some of the world's top skateboarders, but the city doesn't have a skate park. KPBS North County reporter Tanya Thorne tells us that's about to change.
2 years ago, we spoke to Terry Newhouse, a skateboarding ambassador who had a vision for this empty lot in Fallbrook.
You're going to be able to walk your dog, you can watch your kids skate, you can go eat, you can hang out, you can do whatever. You're never going to want to leave. And that, I think, is going to be something Fallbrook is going to be famous for.
That vision is one step closer to becoming a reality. On Wednesday, county leaders and community members broke ground on Fallbrook's Village View County Park.
2, 3, Fallbrook!
The 7-acre space will feature nature trails, picnic areas, a kids' playground, dog park, and an all-wheel park.
That took local activism, and we all stand behind the mission. We've stood behind it for 20 years, that local communities need active recreation areas set apart for our youth.
Sean O'Callahan is the president of Fallbrook Skate Park, Inc. For the last 20 years, the organization has dedicated itself to bringing a skate park to Fallbrook after youth were getting in trouble for skating near businesses.
If my youth was into football, they wouldn't be getting into trouble. If my youth was track and field, they wouldn't be getting into trouble. Why? Because his sport of choice is skating.
But part of the organization's mission was to make Fallbrook Skate Park accessible to all. That is why this is going to be an all-wheel park.
The terminology skate park, it's like Kleenex with a tissue, right? Like it's what you call it, but hopefully you incorporate the BMX riders and the roller skate riders and the scooter riders and wheelchair riders, disabled riders of all kinds.
But what took so long to make this project happen?
Really it's funding. It comes down to funding. That's why we didn't get it for so long.
Brian Albright, the director of Parks and Recreation for the county, says there's currently $300 million in unfunded approved projects in San Diego.
Projects don't get funded and move forward. Supervisor Desmond will tell you this, unless there's strong community support and partnership, at least in my world. And I haven't seen it in probably the last 5 or 6 years, a project with as much local enthusiasm and support as this.
Cost for the new park is $13.7 million. And Albright says half of the funding came from donations. Construction is expected to be complete by spring of 2025. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
It's a huge reinvestment in education for one of San Diego's most diverse communities. KPBS education reporter MG Perez visited a new complex that revamps 2 aging schools.
With the lyrics of a classic Spanish folk song, these dual-language pre-K students welcomed a new era for Central Elementary School and the Wilson Middle School next door. The City Heights campuses started as one building and a 2-story schoolhouse in the late 1920s and 30s. Decades later, the Central Elementary principal had a dream.
When you dream big, you got to believe something into being. And those people that need to see it to believe it, I hope they're here today because they can see it.
Cindy Martin was Central Elementary's principal before she went on to become San Diego Unified Superintendent, and then the appointment as U.S. Deputy Secretary of Education. She came back home today to dedicate this $150 million state-of-the-art rebuilt education complex. A dream come true that started with students collecting lucky pennies in a jar and then got funded with bond money. Olivia Chin is still a speech therapist at Central who trusted Martin's dream from the beginning.
You can see her fingerprint all over the campus, how she thought about all of our students, including our students with special needs. So it's just a dream come true, yeah.
That includes middle school students from the Wilson side of the education complex, who will now work on their own dreams. 8th grader Vanessa Jimenez leads a scientist team that calls themselves the Roarbotics.
I've always seen the movies where people control robots or even build like those human-sized robots, and I really thought that was really cool, and I was like, I want to do that.
So the two campuses are now connected in a way like never before. That connection honors a man who was not only important to the community, but the school district as well.
Nobody should live in a community without trying to leave it a little bit better than what it was when they found it.
The Reverend George Walker Smith was the first African American to be elected to office in San Diego County when he won a seat on the Board of Education in 1963. That was the beginning of a distinguished career in education and leadership in the fight for civil rights.
He set the path for many of us, and we should not take that lightly. And so I'm honored as a black man, as an educator, to follow in those footsteps.
Now open, the George Walker Smith Education Center has 7 new buildings, more than 147,000 square feet of additional education space, a performing arts center, and a modern playground for these students to play and keep dreaming. MG Perez, KPBS News.
A North County public health care district is requiring people to accept a terms of use agreement to access its website. A First Amendment lawyer says that might violate public access laws. KPBS North County reporter Alexander Nguyen has the details.
As a public health care district, Palomar Health is supposed to have public records such as meeting minutes and agendas available online. But if you visit Palomar's website, this is what you see, a term of use agreement. You won't be able to access the website if you don't accept the terms.
I think it is deeply problematic, if not completely illegal.
David Loy is the legal director for the First Amendment Coalition. He says he's never seen public agencies impose these terms and conditions to access their website.
The public has a complete right to access agency records, agendas for agency meetings. These are public records. They belong to the people. The government serves the people.
The story was first reported by Voice of San Diego, a nonprofit news organization. California public health care districts are government agencies that are overseen by a board of directors and the public. Of the 75 public health districts in California, Palomar's website is the only one that requires visitors to agree to terms of use. Loy says by imposing the terms of use, Palomar could be violating the Brown Act, which requires meeting announcements to be posted and available to the public. That is deeply concerning to John Clark, who serves on the board of directors for Palomar Health.
I honestly can't tell you why the administration went ahead and did this. It certainly sends the wrong message to the public. Palomar, like many hospitals today, they have challenges, but restricting public access to the website, it's a move in the wrong direction.
He says the board was not informed of this change. He says he will try to put the item on the agenda at the next board meeting. For Loy, the most troubling part is the copyright clause, which forbids user from copying, reproducing, republishing, posting, retransmitting, or distributing information found on the site without permission.
For a public agency to tell people that they cannot use or copy or reproduce agency records, public records, that presents very serious First Amendment problems. It is tantamount to a prior restraint on the right of freedom of speech.
In a statement, Palomar Health says it is in the process of updating its outdated terms of use to, quote, reflect current legal requirements, and it hopes to have those ready by year-end. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
Starting next week, San Diego County judges will be accepting petitions for care court. Matt Hoffman explains the new option for families looking to treat loved ones with severe mental health concerns.
San Diego County leaders are previewing what care court will look like. 7 counties are starting their pilot programs in October. Family members, treatment providers, and first responders are among those who can petition the court for an adult to have a treatment plan. There's a narrow focus for eligibility. It's designed for San Diegans living with untreated schizophrenia or other psychotic disorders.
It is important to note that this is not an emergency court.
and it is not intended to be utilized as a crisis service. It is very much a process.
Treatment programs would last up to a year with an option to extend it out another year. County officials anticipate about 1,000 petitions to be made over the next year, with around 250 of those actually qualifying.
The most important metric of success, I would say, for the CARE Act program would be among folks who are petitioned in, how many can we engage in care without a case being established at all?
Participation in care court is voluntary, meaning just because a family member makes a petition for a loved one to get treatment, they wouldn't be forced into it. A judge reviews petitions, and then a hearing is set to come up with a care plan.
Our court will strive to make CARE Act proceedings a success. We are committed to this success.
This is a dynamic of trying to, engage people in long-term or continuous care to interrupt cycles of crisis response and needs for crisis services.
Homelessness is not an eligibility requirement, and it's unclear how many unsheltered residents could qualify for care court. However, state funding has been secured for housing should those in treatment need it. Officials maintain care court is not a pathway to conservatorship if someone refuses services.
I think all of the parties agree that care court is a separate, voluntary attempt to engage people at a time when a therapeutic alliance is necessary for the purposes of getting a better outcome for them, whereas a conservatorship is usually considered to be almost the last possible attempt to protect a person from themselves.
Petition applications for care court can be found at sdcourt.ca.gov/careact. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
We hope that you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Thanks for joining us.